All right, let's talk about something every recreational tennis player knows all too well. You're in a match, your opponent hits a killer serve, but you're almost certain you saw their foot cross the line. What do? Today, we're diving deep into why this happens constantly and why hardly anyone ever gets called on it.
You know the feeling, right? You're in a nail-biter of a match, the pressure is on, and then comes that serve. In the back of your head, a little voice is screaming, "Foot fault!" But do you really want to be the one to stop the game and potentially start an argument? So you let it slide, and maybe the point, or even the match, slips away. It's a scenario that plays out on courts everywhere all the time.
So what's really going on here? Is it just that people don't know the rules, or is there something deeper at play? That's what we're going to uncover. We'll get into the psychology behind it all and explore the unwritten rules of a friendly game of tennis.
First off, let's be clear. This isn't just about a few isolated incidents. We're talking about a widespread, systemic issue in recreational tennis. It's an unspoken foul that affects pretty much everyone who plays the game for fun.
Think about it. Serve rules are one of the absolute foundations of tennis. They exist for one simple reason, to keep the game fair for both players. But somewhere between the Pro Tour and our local courts, those hard and fast rules start to feel a lot more like, well, friendly suggestions. Tennis legend Billie Jean King absolutely hit the nail on the head with this. There's this unwritten social contract when we play. We're all there to have a good time, stay active, and be friendly. And often, that social agreement to keep things light ends up being more powerful than the actual rulebook. So, when we talk about breaking serve rules, what exactly are we talking about? Let's go ahead and profile the usual suspects, the most common violations you'll see out there.
Of course, the number one offender is the foot fault, that little creep over the baseline before the ball is struck. But it's not the only one. You've also got illegal tosses, where the ball is thrown way too far forward or even behind, and then there's the classic bad toss, catch, and retoss. All technically violations, all happening all the time.
And if you think this is all in your head, the data tells a pretty stark story. Just look at the difference between recreational play and pro play. Foot faults are nearly 10 times more frequent in rec games. The gap is huge across the board.
But here is the single most stunning statistic of all. 65%. That's the percentage of recreational matches that have at least one uncorrected serve violation. Let that sink in for a second. In almost 2 out of every 3 games you play, someone is getting an unfair advantage, and nothing is being said.
This brings us to the big question. Why? Why do so many of us bend the rules? To get to the bottom of that, we have to look inside our own heads and explore the psychology of the casual player.
A big part of it is just basic brain chemistry. You know that little rush of satisfaction when you win a point? That's a hit of dopamine. And that feeling is so rewarding that our brains can get really good at rationalizing the little things we do to get it, like a tiny foot fault here and there. Then there's something we're all guilty of, the self-serving bias. It's when we convince ourselves that our little rule bend wasn't that bad, or that everybody does it. But when our opponent does the exact same thing, well, suddenly it feels like a much bigger deal, doesn't it?
And let's be honest, in a casual game, what's the real risk? There's no umpire in a chair watching your every move. There's no instant replay. Your opponent probably isn't going to make a scene. So with no immediate penalty, the incentive to be perfect just isn't there.
Behavioral economist Dan Ariely actually talks about this. He's found that when there are no consequences, these small, tiny cheats can snowball. You get away with one, so maybe next time you push the line a little bit more. It's a very slippery slope.
Okay, so we're starting to understand why players break the rules. But that's only half the story. The other, equally important half is, why does nobody ever call it? The answer seems to lie in the system, or lack thereof, of recreational tennis. There are a few big reasons we're so hesitant. The main one, social harmony. Nobody wants to be that guy, the one who ruins a fun, friendly match by starting an argument. But there's also a simple lack of knowledge. Many players aren't even 100% sure what a foot fault looks like in real time. We don't have Hawkeye after all. It all just relies on an honor code that's not always honored. And this is the great irony, shown so perfectly by this chart. A USTA survey found that 78% of players admit they commit foot faults. We know we're doing it, yet only a tiny 12% of us are willing to regularly call our opponents on it. We've created a community of rule breakers who are all too polite to enforce the rules on each other.
So what's the solution? How can we make things more fair without sucking all the fun out of the game? Let's close this case by looking at a few ways to serve up some fair play.
Now, there's no easy answer here. It's a real trade-off. On one side, enforcing the rules more strictly leads to fairer competition. It encourages better technique, and it could even reduce injuries. But on the other side, you risk more arguments, you slow down the pace of play, and you might just diminish some of that casual joy. It's a tough balance to strike.
The best place to start is, without a doubt, with yourself. Take a look at your own serve. This little 5-step guide is a great way to do it. You can mark your baseline, practice your toss, but honestly, the most powerful tool is video. Record yourself. You will be amazed at what you see that you never realized you were doing.
And if you do find yourself in a position where you need to make a call on an opponent, the key is how you do it. Keep it calm, keep it respectful. Instead of an accusation, just a simple, "Hey, I think your foot was on the line on that one," is all it takes. You're focusing on the action, not attacking the person.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't about being a rule monger or winning at all costs. It's about improvement for yourself, for your opponent, and for the game. When we all agree to play fair, it just enhances the fun, it builds real skill, and it makes the entire tennis community stronger.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about next time you step on the court. In the world of recreational tennis, do you really have to choose between fairness and fun? Or is it possible to have the best of both worlds?